Today's gonna be a bit of a long day. I have to drive all the way to Dallas tonight. Tomorrow, I'm heading to Fort Worth to the US TRC Finals. I was invited by Smarty and NRS to come up there and shoot some things with them, and I'm super stoked to do that. But today's gonna be a bit of a long day, so we better get to it. Well, I've made it to the beautiful, quaint little town of Hyco, Texas. It's one of my favorite towns, kind of like on the 281 corridor to stop in. So, stopped at Wrangler's. It's a great little gas station, and I'm sure I'm going to hit $100 on the fuel bill. That's okay. We're making our way north to Fort Worth. Good morning, Dallas, Texas. That's right, we're in Dallas, Texas this morning. We are headed over to Fort Worth. First, I need to grab some coffee before the, roughly like hour and a half trip that's going to take me to get from Dallas to Fort Worth, courtesy of Google Maps. Well, the first thing I have to do this morning is actually figure out where the Smarty booth is, because I'm a little lost. So I'm here with Travis. He's kind of the Smarty go-to, so we're gonna let Travis talk a little bit about the different products that Smarty has.
Hey, this is Travis with Smarty. This is our Smarty Extreme. It's one of our newest, we've had it out for about 4 or 5 years. So what this is, it's a great tool to have. You can work on your timing, so you can, if you want to get yourself to the next level on the healing, you have the Extreme. The legs will move. It has a real action of the steer. So the lights that are on the back actually go off and on. So when they're on, they're the opportune time to rope your steer. So that helps you get your hand-eye coordination, time up with you, your horse, the steer, and everything. So it's one of the best ones on the market. It corners like a real steer. It's got the breakaway horns on it, and if you get to the point where you don't want the lights to go off and on all the time, and you think you got everything figured out, you can shut the lights off and you can rope it just like a real steer. But I like using sometimes with a lot of the times with the lights, just so you can make sure that you're working on your timing and getting everything all correct when you're practicing.
Right.
So one of the benefits with ours compared to everybody else's is our machine, the legs will actually be up here farther than all the rest of them. So that way you can't cheat it.
Right.
All the rest of them, you can kind of cheat your loop as you go in there. So this one, you have to be in time and rope it correctly if you're going to catch it.
Gotcha.
It's a little tougher to rope sometimes when you first start because of everything's slowed down. So when you slow it down, then your mind starts thinking and you start generating everything. It's like, okay, I got to do this and this and this, and then you get out of time and stuff. But once you get everything, your mindset and everything right with this machine, you can everybody can feel timing, but this machine helps you see timing. So you can see when the hip comes up, or if people like to watch the tail head, if they like to watch the hip, if they like to watch the legs, whatever you like to do, you can actually see it now, because now you're roping like a live run in a slowed down run.
Right.
So you can actually breathe. So when you're going down the pin, a lot of guys they pressure up and get tensed up. Now you can go and you can slow down and you can actually see the run and feel the run as you're roping a live steer.
That's awesome.
And then you get to save cattle. You can rope a live steer without having to have you can control it. You can work on every single aspect of your rope.
Right, yeah, for sure. No, it definitely helps not only you, but your horse as well. I mean, obviously.
Yes.
And that's kind of the benefit, because sometimes I feel like when we rope live cattle, it's like we're only doing it for one or the other, whereas like with this, you can do both at the same time.
Yes, that's a great thing about these tools, is you can make your horses work so much better, and that's why we have such great horses now. And you've got all these young kids that are roping so well just because they can start slow and then they can breathe all the way through all the runs and everything. They know exactly what's going on at all times.
And it is scary how good people are getting with these things.
Oh boy!
My gosh.
And it's got a tow bar. It's got a tow bar in it, so it's got a compression spring in the tow bar. This is just what we got here is just on display here at the U.S. Finals. But it's got a tow bar that you pull with an ATV that you can pull with, and it's got a compression spring. And we want you, when you rope it, we want you to hit it. We want you to hit it like a live steer, everything, because it's got a spring in the hitch, and then it's got a spring that goes in the back here, plus your legs. So those legs will come together and go back, and then the tongue will take all the tension off. It's a replica of a live run.
Right. Yeah, because in that live run, you'll get some of that spring effect from the rope, from the cattle, all that. So that helps with that too. And it helps. It helps especially like those heel horses learn to take that jerk versus like trying to be tense up. And a lot of them don't like it if they hadn't been trained on stuff like this.
Exactly.
Because they don't know how to take it.
Exactly. And I mean, the lost art of team roping is dallying. Right. So a lot of these machines you can rope, but you can only go like a half a dally and you got to slide. Well, you do that in a roping, go a half a dally. Well, then you pause. Well, now you start missing your dally.
Right.
So with this, you can rope it and you actually get a real dally and you can lock it off and get it tight, just so you are practicing every aspect of it.
Right. No, that's super cool. And it's all made right here in
Mount Pleasant, Texas, where it's all made. Yep.
That's fantastic. I love that.
All of our tools that we have, like our pipes, our sidekicks, they all tie in, our Smarties and our Extreme, they all tie in together. So like this is what we call our Pipes Pro. It's got the lights on it, so the lights, you can work on your hand-eye coordination and you can time up just swinging and work on, okay, now I can see my swing. So you can go rope this 15 minutes before you go rope the Extreme. So okay, now I'm working on the lights and I'm going now, and then you rope and the lights are on. That way you can get your hand and your eyes and your mind all situated, and then you go to the machine, and then it just makes everything flow easier. Then you go from here to the live cattle and practice session.
Right.
So one thing with Smarty is we don't just make roping machines. We're here to as a whole training system and program. So we have drills that we can give you with the machines and everything to help you get better. We don't just want to sell you a machine and go on. We want to make sure that when you get done, you've got all the tools to make yourself better, and we're going to help you get that with our drills and stuff that we can have you.
For sure. Yeah, and I know that you got some, obviously here at the finals, but then you got a YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
And then what else as far as the training,
That's our biggest spot right now. We're working on some other places to put it, but as of right now, just smartytraining.com, or you can go to our website at smartyroping.com, and then they will be able to get you any training videos there. But our YouTube channel has hours and hours of stuff, and it's stuff back from 10 years ago when Alan was starting this, and I've watched a lot of them, and if you look at the videos from 10 years ago, it's the same method on it. He's roping the same way, and everything is teaching the same that he did then. Nothing's changed. It's all the same type of roping with the machines.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got some better drills and different little drills that we've added to the machine, just that we've learned to help our horses get better and this and that. We have our pro guys that come over and help Alan design different drills, and they talk back and forth. Just, this works better for me, this doesn't work good, this is how I do this better. So we've all incorporated that in our YouTube channel.
Yeah, for sure. And there are quite a few people that have commented to me on Instagram or YouTube about, hey, look, I can't get to a clinic, or I can't do one of those things. Like, that is a great resource for you. There's a lot of great online resources. That YouTube channel is one where you can, if you can't make it to a clinic, or you're kind of in a spot where, a lot of people don't rope or whatever, like, go to that YouTube channel and use those online resources to help you get better, like, in the meantime.
Yeah, and it's also with that we have drills on the pipes or on the side kick, so they're ground drills to work on your swing and your delivery, your position, everything. So it's not all just on the machines on horseback. We do a lot of drills just on the ground.
Just on the ground.
Yes, on there.
Yeah, cool.
All right, well, here's the next machine that we have. We have the Smarty the steer. This is the machine that built Smarty. This is our first machine that we came out with, and if you look at it, it looks almost identical the way it was when we started. We've made a lot of different advancements on it, on the way that it is put together and different things like that, but the machine itself, it looks identical to it. It's a station. The legs are stationary. They do not move like our Extreme does. The nice benefit to this is a lot of these guys, when they rope, they'll rope it and they'll pull their slack, and they get a little too quick on their slack. So here you can rope, stay down with your delivery, and then you can make sure that you are staying down and seeing the feet go into your loop as you rope it. This one's on skis, so instead of it's not ground driven, so you don't have to have anything hop or anything, so it's on skis. So with it being on skis, you can do all kinds of different things with it. If you want it to whip out through the corner, some guys like that. Some guys like it where they just make a quick flat corner. Some guys like to arc them around that corner. It's however you want to make it work for your heel horses. You can do that. Also with the head and drills, it's really nice. You can just go straight away with it. You can rope it, and then you can use it. I like to use it where you put the head, you rope it, and then you stay there and try to keep that rope tight without it popping off of these horns. So that way you're staying in control of the steer, and you're keeping your horse in control, and you're really keeping him framed up and keeping through the corner and everything. So those are some of the drills that we like to do. And if you look at the back side of the Smarty, we actually have lights in the legs. So the lights in the legs here, it's not so you can rope at night or anything. That's what everybody always thinks. It's so when you have it, it's a focal point to look at. When Alan goes to all the clinics and stuff, everybody wants to watch that head loop go on. So on the back feet for the heeler, you have that focal point. You're looking at those legs as you go down the pin, through your corner, through your delivery, and to your horn. That way you have a focal point to look at. And just like the Extreme, you can just shut the lights off, and then you can rope it without the lights. And the benefit of this is if you have a family, that you have some team ropers at head and heel, and then you have young boys or girls that are breakaway roping. The nice part about these is you can pull this off, and then you can grab, we got a breakaway body. You can take the breakaway body and you can put right on it. So with that breakaway body on it, you put that on there, and then you can rope it, and you can use it as a breakaway machine now.
Right.
So with this machine, it's normally a 3-in-1 machine. So you got your body that goes on the ground for your side kick. Then you have when you got your tow bar on here, your feet are popped up off the ground, and you can rope it as a set of pipes. And then you have your sled. Well, you add this onto it, now you got a breakaway sled, and you have a body to go on the ground.
Yeah. And we use that all the time on the ground. Like,
Yes.
I mean, if you don't have something already on the ground, just pick that up and off, and you're ready to go.
Right.
Because a lot of times in the arena, if we're working on something, you know, it's easier to get off your horse and try to figure it out down on here versus being on your horse. So it's nice to be able to pick it up right there in the arena and set it on the ground and go to work.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. And it's a benefit to have. This is what we call our all-around package. So you can head, heel, breakaway, and then you've got all the ground machines that you need to.
Right. That's awesome. That's super cool.
The next piece of equipment that we have, this is kind of a fun piece of equipment. You get done roping for the day and you want to go just enjoy with your family, friends, buddies, whatever. We have our shorty. Everybody knows what our shorty is. It's a great little tool. You can just hang out with your buddies and have fun. We've implemented a chute in here now. So it's an air-driven chute, so you hook an air compressor up to it, and this little switch will hit this, and it'll shoot the shorty out there, and you can have jackpots and everything like that. You don't have to have someone sitting there pushing it all the time.
Right.
The one thing about our shorties that is above everybody else's stuff is our horn sizes are bigger than most. So you can actually rope it with a regular rope if you wanted to, and you have to rope it correctly to rope it. All the rest of them you can kind of cheat your loop on, and our legs are spread out a little wider on the back, so you can you have to actually throw a decent loop in there to rope it. So this is a great way if you got young little kids that are wanting to get started, or even adults that are wanting to get started. They don't want to go into the big machines and have something all the time. They can have a head and heel machine, a little cheaper, and that way you can get started. You can work on the basic fundamentals of it.
Yeah. And it's cool to be able to, you know, yes, have fun, but also still be working on the correct techniques and improving. So. And
the one thing about ours is if you look at these, it's easier to look at this one. The horns are replaceable. So if you need to replace the horns, you can replace the horns. The head and the neck is replaceable. You can replace those. The wheels and stuff on the bottom, they're all replaceable. The legs are replaceable. So a lot of the other machines out there, these shorties or whatever they are, they have that's comparable to ours. You can't replace those. So when the horns are sawed off, because you're going to drag it and it's going to hit the cement or the rocks, and it's going to shave those horns down. So when those are gone,
they're done.
You got to throw the machine away and go start over. Well, here you can get new horns. You can replace everything to make it. We wanted to make it so it's user friendly for the people that are using them. Instead of just here's the product, when it's worn out, you got to buy a new one. Right. We want to make sure that you can be able to fix it.
That's awesome. And we did a 10,000 follower giveaway on my Instagram, and we actually gave away one of these. And so hopefully in the future, you know, maybe if we hit something a little higher, we'll give another one away. So stay tuned for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me today. I've got to drive all the way home, so I better get out of here in a reasonable time. Smarty and NRS, thank you guys so much for allowing me to come down and shoot some content with you guys. Where NRS was in the John Justin Arena, it was just too loud to vlog or do anything like that. So, I don't know anybody from Iowa, so I don't know why they're calling me, but really a fantastic setup. NRS is obviously one of my most favorite places on the planet, and it's nice that whenever you go to a big roping like this, they usually have some sort of booth. So if you forgot something, if you need a new rope, or you know, whatever the case may be, new splint boots, new bell boots, all that sort of stuff, they usually have a booth set up at these big ropings so that you can go buy that sort of stuff. But if you haven't been to their Decatur or their Wickenburg location, you definitely need to. And then as far as the Smarty stuff, if you have any questions, shoot them in the comment section below. If there's anything that you're curious about when it comes to Smarty, put in the comment section below, and I'll try to relay that to the Smarty team and see if we can get some answers for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tagging along here at the USTRC Finals. I hope this video turns out well. It's a little bit hard to shoot in a big arena with a bunch of people and and you know, you're carrying a big camera around, and so it can be a little bit daunting at times. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy this channel. If you do, make sure to subscribe. If you like this video, make sure to like it. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.